Hi guys, Steady Eddie here. It's January the 1st, 2024. I'm at Heathrow Airport. I'm heading for Terminal 2. I will be boarding Air China all the way to Beijing and then on to Bangkok. I'm leaving the country and I have no plans to return to England ever again. Okay, so I'm making a big move. I'm leaving England. I'm saying goodbye to this country forever. Now, for what reason? Well, there's lots of reasons, really. I think the first reason that comes to mind is because I'm 61 years old. And that's not a young age. It's not a particularly old age either. But, you know, the years creep up on you. And I think at 61, if you've ever dreamed of leaving the country, or if you ever dreamed of doing anything, then, you know, you have to adopt a it's now or never approach. It is now or never. I mean, this year I've given up alcohol, you know, I thought it's now or never. And now I'm leaving the country. See, the reason I'm doing it now is because I think as you get a bit older, I think you get more and more lethargic. I couldn't imagine, you know, making a big move at 70 years of age. I really, really couldn't. I mean, you know, I've got a 30-hour journey to do, first of all. I'm already about 6 hours into the journey right now at this moment in time. I had to come all the way from the southwest of England on a National Express. And now I've got to check in, hang around for the aeroplane. Basically from door to door, from where I live in the southwest to arriving at the hotel in Pattaya, I think you're looking at something like 30 hours in all. 30, maybe 31 hours. It's a changeover at Beijing. It's about 31 hours door to door. That's a hell of a journey, and to be honest with you, I never enjoy these journeys. For the days leading up to it, I always feel a kind of pre-menstrual tension. I'm not afraid of flying or anything like that. It's just that it's such a long journey. I want the nasty ordeal over and done with. You know, so basically, you know, I'm doing this long journey, and hopefully it's going to be the last journey that I do of this sort. Okay, well there you go. I'm on good time. My flight there, 17:40. To Beijing. Check-in opens 13:40, so I'm on good time. Good time. Well, that was swift. You know, got through departure fairly good. New Year's Day, I had an idea it's going to be pretty quiet here. I know I was a bit early for the check-in, but, you know, I only had to wait a few minutes. No problem with that at all. Departure fairly swift. So, yeah, no complaints up to now, and I'm now in the departure lounge. I've got about 3.5 hours to go before my flight, and I'll probably treat myself to a nice traditional you know, couple of beers and maybe a fish and chips at the airport. I've been off the alcohol since beginning of April. Over Christmas, I just had, yeah, you know, not many beers. You know, just a few beers with friends, and yeah, you know, I didn't see any harm in that. So I've certainly cured any, you know, dependency on alcohol. So, you know, last night I didn't drink at all. Let me mention something. That right now at Heathrow Airport, I have never ever felt physically good when I arrive at an airport, dragging me luggage around. I always feel like crap, really. And the reason for that is that usually the night before I've had a skinful of alcohol, whereas now I haven't. I mean, the last time I drank was a few days ago. I had a few beers in a pub, and that was it. So I'm really alcohol free now, so it shows because I feel physically pretty good right now. So that makes a change, you know. lack of alcohol, makes all the difference, really. So anyway, about leaving England. I mean, what are the reasons am I leaving England? Apart from the fact that I'm 61 years of age and it's now or never. Well, the fact is that I'm English, but England doesn't really excite me anymore. I mean, it's a cold, damp climate. We don't get proper summers here, even in the July and August, the so-called peak of summer. It's usually drizzling with rain, and we don't get proper summers in this country. Nothing you can rely on. The occasional heat wave, and that's about it. And England is very, very cold. What I've noticed, with me losing about 2.5 stone in weight, is that there was a really cold patch recently. And during that cold patch, I really, really, really felt the cold. I think when you lose a bit of weight, you feel the cold more. And so, England is a cold climate, and I don't want to be in a cold climate. I want to be in a nice, hot climate, shorts and T-shirts all the way. Hot weather, sitting at a pavement cafe, drinking a nice cold beer in a hot climate. I mean, that's the kind of place that I want to be. And, of course, I'm headed to Southeast Asia. Thailand, Cambodia, those countries. So, that's the kind of climate that I want to be in. And as for England, apart from being cold and damp and grey and miserable and all that kind of stuff, England doesn't really excite me anymore. I'm English, I've lived in England all my life, but, it doesn't excite me as a country. I mean, what is there here for me? I mean, England's an expensive country, and someone who's never been to England before, I can imagine that when they come here, then, it's going to be wonderful. There's culture here, there's the classic British culture, there's castles, there's London with the Houses of Parliament, and, there's cathedrals. I've seen all of them. I've seen all the stuff in England that I want to see. I don't really need to see anymore. England just doesn't excite me anymore. I mean, I'll never ever shake off the English culture. I mean, what is English culture? I mean, British TV, I suppose, is about as close you could get to English culture. I was brought up on British TV, and and the language, of course. But other than that, England just doesn't excite me as a country anymore. So I don't really think I'll wish I was. I wish it was back in England when I'm sitting at a pavement cafe in a hot climate having a cold beer. And before you think that I'm leaving England because of the, negativity and the state that Britain is in right now, it's not for that reason. I mean, that's all beyond my control. I mean, the government, I mean, it's nothing to do with politics or anything like that. I mean, it's funny, the politics really, isn't it? I mean, number 10 Downing Street should have a revolving door on there. They're in and out, shake it all about. I mean, who cares? I don't care about governments. I mean, I'm too old to care about that kind of stuff. I just care about me, really. Why the hell not? I'm the one who's worked all these years for my money. So I want to spend it in a country that makes me happy. I mean, with regards to the problems in England, you look at them on the news or read them in the paper, and you think that's terrible. Illegal immigrants coming into our country on dinghies and all of that kind of stuff. Well, immigration, is a severe problem in Great Britain, both legal and illegal. Especially the illegal stuff, because you don't know who these people are or what their intentions are. But does it affect me personally? The immigrants coming into this country. Does it affect me? Well, I think if there's one way it affects me, it's probably the national health. Things like the national health is a prime example. I mean, it's difficult to get an appointment to see a doctor now because the numbers, have gone up, and people who are coming into our country who haven't paid into the national health system, they seem to be, using it whenever they feel like it. And there's something happening with the national health. I mean, it's terrible. It's no longer as reliable as it always has been. And also, you see it in the national health, you see it in the roads of Britain, the traffic jams and whatever. This is the effect of more people pouring into our country. It really, really is. A lot of immigrants contribute to this country. They're fine. And I think really, you know, some people make out that they are the only problem that we have in this country. That's not true at all. You know, you go back to the 1970s, Britain was in a terrible dire situation then. Britain was known as the sick man of Europe. You know, you know, the winter of discontent of 1977, 78, round about that time. Britain's always had problems. But as for the immigration, well, you know, it's not going to get any better, is it? England is, well, England is now getting swamped with immigrants, and as for all those people coming across the channel in dinghies, well, they are people from countries which shouldn't have been having children in the first place, because clearly about 20 odd years ago when those people were born, you know, they were born into a society and families that couldn't afford to look after them, and now they're coming across here expecting us to look after them. But I'm not going to get on my high horse like that. All I'm saying is that with regards to the country being swamped with immigrants, it's not going to get any better. I mean, Jesus, look at that Rwanda project. You know, they can't even get a flight off the ground. What an absolute farce that is. And there's billions of people being born in third world countries where they can't be looked after, so they end up heading this way. Yeah, you know, and I suppose you could say it's like shoveling shit against the tide. It's not going to get any better. Got to find a little place here to try and get away from that copyright music that sprung up all of a sudden. So anyway, what are the reasons? Well, it's not just England that I'm leaving, it's because of Southeast Asia. You know, the countries that I'm travelling to will be Thailand and Cambodia. I mean, they are countries that I know really well. And of course, guys, if ever you're thinking of, you know, leaving to retire in one of those countries, make sure that you know the country first. I've heard stories about guys who seen images of Cambodia, or who heard about it, or Thailand, or whatever, and have just packed up and left, hoping never to come back again. No, go there first. Don't just retire. Go there and get to know the places. Well, I'm pleased to say that with regards to those countries that I've mentioned, I know them very well. I've been to those countries for 25 years, something like that. You know, I've travelled, I've spent a lot of time in those countries, so I do know them really, really well. And I know where I'm going, I know where my favourite places are, and I haven't really picked out one place yet where I'd like to retire, one particular place, and call that home. But they're easy to travel around, and really I've narrowed it down to a couple of places where I can find myself, you know, a nice condo or whatever, and if I get visas sorted out and all that kind of thing, then, you know, a nice place where I can relax and find, you know, call home. I don't want to be travelling, you know, all the time the way I have in the past. Certainly don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm looking at maybe Pattaya in Thailand. I like that place. I also like Siem Reap in Cambodia. I know both of those places really, really well, and they are the places that I want to wake up to each day. You know, nice climate, places where I can get up at the daytime and, you know, go down to my favourite cafe or bar or whatever. Whereas here in England, I mean, it's sometimes it seems that it's too cold to go anywhere. And as for female company, well, you know, Southeast Asia is pretty good for that, Thailand, Cambodia. I'm not going to talk too much about that now. We'll talk all about that later, you know, and I've got all the time in the world to make videos on that sort of stuff. But as for England, you know, and women here in England, well, I haven't had a relationship for a long time. I've had relationships in the past, but I think I'm past having a relationship with an English woman. Right now. I mean, what am I going to get? I'm 61 years of age. I like travelling. I don't want to settle in England. I haven't wanted to settle in England for many, many years. And so what am I going to get? You know, if I was to meet an English woman who's something like my age, not only would she have had children in the past, she's probably got grandchildren by now, and that's a kind of scenario. I don't want to be doing anything like that. I don't want an English woman, simply because, you know, my age. I don't want to be taking on all that kind of stuff. Or no, it just doesn't appeal to me. I've no interest in forming a relationship, and if I do, I met a woman who's, you know, close to my age here. What am I going to do? What kind of lifestyle? What kind of lifestyle am I going to have? You know, I don't know. Sit around and watch TV together. Go for a walk in the park together, go down to the social club every Friday night and watch some decrepit old band, you know, with all kinds of anachronistic, you know, pop songs and all that. I mean, some of them do that and they think that's a wonderful lifestyle. Not for me, definitely not for me. No, I don't want a relationship in England. I really, really don't, you know. So in regards to the big move, I mean, it may seem a bit drastic, but I've been thinking about it for many years, and I thought it's only a matter of time, really. Now, for many years, what I've done is I've done half the year in England working, and the other half of the year travelling abroad. But I've been there and done that, and also the cost of coming back to England and, you know, working and having to pay all kinds of bills, it doesn't add up anymore. It doesn't add up. Even if it did add up, I don't want to be doing flights like what I'm doing today all the time. I don't want to be doing this every 6 months. Really, you know, you're either here or there for a long time. You know, that was a good lifestyle. 6 months here, 6 months travelling. You know, a lot of people would envy that lifestyle. Well, I've done that for many years, and not just Southeast Asia, but I've travelled to South America and, you know, lots of other places. But I've been there and done that. You know, been there and done that, and right now, I don't want to be doing long haul. I want to go to Southeast Asia and just, just stay there. I think really in a perfect scenario, I think these could be the last flights that I'm taking, because if I do base myself around Thailand and Cambodia, I can easily do road journeys to those two countries. I don't like getting airplanes. I'm not afraid of flying, nothing like that. I just don't like it. I don't like airports and all the rigmarole, and I just don't want to do that. But to hop between Thailand and Cambodia, those countries, or even into Laos or whatever, you can do that by road. So we'll see how that pans out anyway. But like you say, I've done the 6 months here working, and the rest of the year travelling. I've done that, and been there, done that, and it's time for something different now. And besides, I don't work anymore. I'm retired. Anyway, on the subject of work, yes, I'm retired from the workforce. A day job, conventional day job, but I have got plenty of things to do when I'm going abroad. Now, somebody said in the comments, does your YouTube channel have anything to do with you going abroad to live? Well, I suppose it does have something to do, because I like my YouTube channel, and I'm just coming up to 15 million views. I'm pretty good at it. I like it. I like the community, and really, up to now, I've been a part-time vlogger. This will mean that I'm going to be a full-time vlogger. I'll be able to make videos, travel videos, 52 weeks of the year. So that's good. And also, I write books now. I've got a book out on Amazon, and I'm writing my second book. So, there's no shortage of creative things for me to do. No shortage at all. I'm looking forward to really getting stuck into all of those things. And, so yeah, my YouTube channel has got a lot to do with me going abroad. I'm going to be a full-time vlogger. I'll make videos 52 weeks of the year. And I think it's better than setting the alarm, to get up for work every day back in England, isn't it? So you might think, why Southeast Asia? What's that got to offer? Well, it's got those lovely Asian girls. I don't make any secrets of that. There's no shame in that. The same way as, old English women go out to countries like Gambia and Turkey so they can chase the young local fellas there. There's no shame in that at all. But it's not just about girls. It certainly isn't about that. Um, you know, it's such a wonderful part of the world, and it's good value. Not as good value as it was, but if you know where to go, you can still live quite cheaply there. And also, you've got the weather out there. I know you've got the rainy season as well. It's not good all the time. But, you know, when the summer comes there, you're talking about a real summer, not 5 minutes like we have here. And also, there's so much to see and do out there. You know, the landscape and the people, the friendliness of the people. The people are wonderful out there as well. I mean, Southeast Asia's got so much to offer, so much culture, history. It's a wonderful place, and the people there are so friendly with you. I like the Cambodian people, the Thais, the Vietnamese. I met some real, genuine people in those countries. And in England, you know, as in England, I don't know. Sometimes I just think everyone's bloody miserable there. Okay, so now it's time for that essential airport experience. A few cold beers and an airport meal, fish and chips. Not cheap. 3 beers and fish and chips cost me around 40 quid, which is about 50 US dollars. So it's not cheap, but oh well, you know, you got to treat yourself, haven't you? It's the essential airport experience. Oh, I hate that waiting at the airport feeling. I really do. It's like going into Weatherspoons on a Sunday night when there's nobody there, and it's you're just sitting around waiting for something to happen. You know, big place like this. New Year's Day, it's quiet anyway. Everything's run smoothly up to now. You know, my flight to China seems to be on time. It looks like it's all scheduled. I haven't seen anything that suggests delays. Delays. Don't say that word. Your flight's been the last thing you want to hear. But anyway, waiting at the airport now, and within the hour I should be in the air if it all goes to plan. Anyway, as for that meal was 3 beers and a fish and chips. Around about 40 quid. That's quite a bit of money, that is. It's quite a substantial amount of money, that. 3 beers and fish and chips, 40 quid. Well, airport prices, I mean, but it was okay. It was that essential waiting at the airport feel, and it's filled my stomach, and I'll probably get something else to eat if the flight gets underway. Anyway, just waiting on the flight, Heathrow to Beijing, anyway. Hopefully it's all on schedule. Okay, so I'm on board this flight and it all looks like it's on schedule. 17:40, January the 1st. It's a 10.5 hour flight from Heathrow to Beijing, and yeah, well, it looks like it's fairly full anyway. Difficult to get some cabin space for all my baggage. But anyway, it's taken me about 10 hours to get to this point here in my travelling. It was about 10 hours ago that I actually left home. I got the taxi to the coach station, and from the coach station to Heathrow Airport and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, 10 hours, that's about a third of the journey gone, and it's looking okay anyway. So when I next speak on this camera, I will be in Beijing. Do you ever remember those seats that you used to sit on when you went to the cinema? I couldn't watch a movie without getting a pain in the arse. Those seats were so uncomfortable. Well, that seat there on Air China, that was the same. Awful. Oh my God, I just couldn't get comfortable on it. Anyway, that 10.5 hour journey is over, and now I'm in Beijing, China, which is about an hour ahead of Bangkok. This is 8 hours ahead of the UK. Bangkok is 7 hours ahead of the UK right now. And apparently it's -1 outside, so I've got about a 3 hour changeover in the airport, and the journey's going well. You know, it all seems to be running to schedule. One more flight from Beijing to Bangkok, and then I'll be making my way to Pattaya. It's all going well up to now, except for that seat. That was the worst seat that I've sat on in a very, very long time. Okay, well I'm in a queue now for international transfer. And it's a bit of a lengthy queue, but I think there's plenty of time anyway, so there's no rush. In case you're wondering, the actual flight that I purchased from London to Bangkok via Beijing it was a very, very reasonable £550 about £550, and I think I paid a little bit extra to get aisle seats on both flights. £550, I'd say that's pretty good. Okay, I mean, you know, it's not first class travel, but no, I'm quite pleased with that. I booked it about 4 months in advance, and when you consider, like, you know, the expensive flights that are around these days, yeah, quite happy with that. No problem with that at all. Air China. I would so like to have done a little bit of filming around Beijing airport. You know, it looks, you know, nothing spectacular anyway, but oh, heavens above, that queue for transfer was awful. You scan all your baggage once again. No, you know, not the checked-in baggage, I mean your hand baggage, and the queue alone for your boarding pass and your passport, bloody nightmare. You may think when you have a transit changeover that you get off one plane and your other plane leaves 2.5 hours later. So that's fine. 2.5 hours, plenty of time, maybe to pot around the airport, have something to eat or drink and whatever. No chance. I was kind of worried there that I was going to get through that queue. It was so horrendous and they were moving so slowly. But anyway, I've got there, and I think I'll be boarding my flight soon. I haven't had a chance to look around Beijing airport. Anyway, here I am, part 2 of the flight. I think this one's only about 4 hours. Well, at this moment, I want to talk about the very, very grim subject of death. Now, not a very nice subject to talk about, but, you know, you don't live forever in this world. I mean, we've all known people who've dropped dead before their time, you know, people who some cases can be younger than us, or certainly no older than us. You've had friends that you've known for donkey's years, and all of a sudden you notice they're dropping like flies, and you think to yourself, is it my turn next? You know, none of us have got many years left on this planet, especially when you get in your 60s. I mean, some people are blessed and they live, you know, till 80s and 90s. Well, I'll tell you when I get there anyway, but as far as I'm concerned, once you're in your 60s, you know, you've got to treat every year as if it's your last one. So I don't want to drop dead in a place that's making me miserable. I want to die in a place, you know, which I enjoy, a place where I've had a bit of happiness. And Thailand and, you know, those countries, they've certainly brought me a lot of happiness over the years. A bit of a grim subject, but, you know, that old cliche, you've only got one life, you've got to live it to the max. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, the thing is, when you get too old, you know, you can't really live your life to the max then, but at least, the least you can do is live it, you know, in a place that is making you happy. I want to drop dead in a place that makes me happy. And, yeah, that's another reason why I'm retiring to Southeast Asia. Okay, so I'm finally here. That long journey has come to an end. I've done, you know, Beijing to Bangkok. Getting through immigration was okay, not really a problem. And I've got straight down to the lower level here at Savannah Booby Airport, and I've bought myself a ticket, all of 143 baht, and I think they might have charged me an extra 20 baht, but I think about 163 baht for, you know, from here to Pattaya. I'll probably have to get a, you know, a tuk-tuk or taxi or whatever cheap. But when I get to Pattaya, I could have, you know, made so much more of this, you know. But I'm just so tired. I just want to crash out in the hotel. I really am getting too overall for this kind of journey. But anyway, the bus leaves at 8:30 p.m. That's a 1.5 hour journey by road. I reckon I should be in the hotel between 10:30 and 11 o'clock. And that will make probably about a 32-hour journey overall, from home to hotel. Hell of a journey. I'm so tired, really. I just want to get on that bus now and just get in a hotel. And by the way, the reason I'm not taking the taxi, I mean, an airport taxi, you know, can be quite expensive. I mean, one airport taxi is probably about the cost of about 3 nights hotel in Pattaya. So I've done it the stingy way and booked a ticket. They're quite reliable, these buses. I've used them before. Okay, I'm on board the bus going to Pattaya. This is the 8:30 bus, 8:30 in the evening. Now, it's fairly efficient and it's a well-organised bus. They actually charged me an extra 50 baht for my large suitcase. But with the 143 baht ticket, you know, inside 200 baht for the journey from here to Pattaya, that's great value. And I've saved a lot not getting a taxi. So at the other end, where it drops me off, I'll have to get a taxi or whatever. I'll sort that out when I get there. But right now, I'm just glad that this long journey is coming to an end. I just want to get in that hotel.
Cowboy.
Well, it sure is a nice hotel room. Looks nice and clean. It's got aircon. It's got a fridge and everything. Okay, it's got a safe. I'll do a review of this when I check out of here. Which you know won't be for a while, yeah. You know. Okay, this is the moment that I've been dreaming about. This moment when, after that long journey, and it was actually a 32-hour journey from home to arrive here in this hotel room, 32 hours in all. This is the moment that I've just, you know, looked forward to. And right now I feel tired and, you know, I feel washed out, worn out. You know, those of you who are not what used to watching the Steady Eddie travels will probably be watching this video and think, my God, this guy's a miserable bastard. You would have thought he'd show a bit more enthusiasm for going on his travels. Well, that all comes later, but you know, I mean, some people really enjoy the journey. I don't. I mean, I just want to get the whole thing over and done with, but it is over and done with now. And airports, and you know, they're not my preferred choice of places to be hanging around. As to the travel, there was a horror movie, wasn't there, some years ago, which had the slogan, "Keep telling yourself it's only a movie." Well, I'm like that when I'm travelling. I don't enjoy travelling, and when I'm travelling, I keep telling myself, this is not what it's all about. Travel is all about being there. You know, being in these places you want to go to. It's not really the getting there. That's not what it's really all about. You know, so anyway, goodbye to aeroplanes and all that kind of stuff. I'm here now after 32 hours. It's late in the evening, late Tuesday night, and got nothing to eat or drink here. So I'm gonna just pop out and just get used to the night air once again. I'm tired. I can't. I would have done a better vlog than this, with more detail about the travel and anything. But I was just too tired. I've just been too tired to do it. Oh well, I'm here now anyway. I'm here now. What a difference a plane journey makes. Seems like no time since I was cold and damp and miserable in the cold, damp, miserable England, and now I'm here. Wow, absolutely magnificent. Welcome to Pattaya.